Okay, good morning traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through live order flow analysis using Bookmap, we're having currently a crypto competition. I'll go over that in just a second. We're going to go over some different setups, and we have a whole host of different things to go through. Just a minute here. We'll go through the disclosures and then jump in. General disclosure, all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so this is the crypto competition that we have currently. It is part of the Bookmap Academy. You'll need to join the academy, but it's anyone can join. It's free. If you're interested in partaking in the competition, take a screenshot of this, fill out the form, and you're good to go. So this will take you to the competition page, and it's right here. And you'll read through, register here. You'll see the prizes. So we have some pretty nice prizes, and guys, tomorrow, especially all the coaches, if you guys are on the call as well, we will decide who is going to win here, March 26th, right here. Let me get the pen tool up. Yeah, we have two different other prizes here. So those with the best content. On March 26th, only one winner, and then again on April 2nd, one winner. You will win 200 USDT right here. Okay, so put in your content in the Discord channel. It is in the Bookmap Academy channel where you will post that content, and see if it's high quality. You can win. All right, so other than that, the winners are first place, second place, third place, 1 year subscription to a Global Plus, plus $500 USDT. Then second place is a 6 month subscription to Global Plus, and third is a 3-month subscription. So enter in and give it a shot. You can read through the rules here. There's also the time, durations, etc. in here, and then the leaderboard. Right. So for those of you who are new in here, and we've had crypto competitions in the past, note that there's a big distinction in this one. There are commissions, and it's making this competition much more realistic. So every time you hit the button to purchase or sell or whatever it is, you are paying a commission, right? So any of you high frequency guys out there, this is going to put a little bit of a damper on your trading, but still, nonetheless, you know how it works in the real world. So this is very similar. All right. Let's see what else here. We'll have there's a connection video in here, but we're going to have a new one in there for you as well. There's the FAQs to go through here. All right. So anyway, if you're interested in that competition, we'll put the link here into the chat for you, and just take a screenshot also with your phone there and get that QR code. All right. So let me put this link into the YouTube chat. There you go. Over here as well in the all markets. Here we go. Okay, good morning, Rob. Let's see, you had a question here. Will the trading drill come back? Yeah, it hasn't gone away. It is not working, I think, with this competition, though. It might be, I'm not sure. If maybe someone can answer that one. Stephen compliments, you're doing great in the competition. That's just heartwarming to see. Also, Jack, slow down. Good stuff. All right, so let's continue on. All right, so let's jump in here, and what I'm going to go through here is the connection. So if you guys have had issues connecting, this is how you can do it. First, double click on the desktop icon of Bookmap, open it up. And Dan, you have this running, you can verify. Okay, great. All right, now at the run options window here, you're going to choose the trading mode here. Okay, not replay mode, not simulation. And you may or may not want to open your previous workspace here. I would highly recommend that you record your data and your orders and click OK. And let's see here. I've got an update. Cancel that for now. Okay, so now go up to connections, and we got to configure a few connections. We're going to add or remove a platform here. This will take us to the desktop, or I'm sorry, the Bookmap plugins manager, Bookmap Connect. We're going to scroll down, and we need to add Bookmap data here. Click install. It says OK. Now we're going to add another one as well. So scroll down to the bottom, and under Trading Simulator here, install this one. It's version 1.4.1. Install it, and we're good to go. Click OK, click OK. And now, click OK here. Let's go back up to connections, and we're going to go to configure again. From the drop down here, let's first go to Bookmap data. Click on that and click OK. Sorry, let's go back to connections, click configure. We're also going to add the trading simulator here. Click OK. Go back to connections and select them. All right, so now we've selected them, and let's click on the plus tab here. We'll add a new instrument. Should say Bookmap data. Hold on a minute. Where's my Bookmap data? Should be here. No, it's already installed. It should be there. It's not available from the drop down here. Okay, that's not good. All right, add a connection. All right. So yeah, I'm sorry guys. Add a new connection here, then scroll down, select Bookmap data and click OK. Then we come back up and select it. Okay, I thought I did that. Anyway, let's click on the plus tab here. From Bookmap data, the data type is competition. The exchange will be multi-book, and the symbol is BTC-USDT, Binance Futures. You can select it also from the drop down there. Add your historical data. Tick size, depending on your computer. I mean, what is Bitcoin is USDT is at 60 something thousand dollars. So I'm using tick size of 20, seems to work pretty well for me, and size granularity of 0.01, and I click subscribe. All right, and you should be good to go. Okay, does anyone have any questions on this, on how to connect? Any issues connecting? Hang on a minute here, let's see. Because this is important. This is the first step. Now, there's something else to mention in here as well that's quite important. as you sign up for this, you will need to sign up for the Bookmap Academy. There's no way around it here. If you want to win any of these prizes in here, you will need to be a member of the Bookmap Academy. Okay, so the way you can join is go to bookmap.com, click on more button here, and go to under community, go to Bookmap Academy here, and you will apply here. All right, and then you will be posting your content over here. Okay, go to our Discord channel, and then under here, Bookmap Academy and Bookmap Academy chat room here. Click on that. This is where you'll be posting your content. All right. There's some good stuff. Right now, we've got some pretty good content here from Jack and also from Slowdown. So guys, get out there and start competing. We're going to make a decision tomorrow. So we need to get your content in there as soon as possible so that we can judge it. All right. Okay. And let's take a look here at crypto and see what's going on. I mean, this is a real nice, powerful, strong move. And beautiful little flag pattern in here as well, right up into 69,000. Okay, so I don't know. I hope you guys caught that move. This has been a slippery beast of an instrument, and we're going to go through some setups, and also I had a trade have a trade I want to go through, and I want to recap from Friday and Friday's webinar. Okay, so let me actually show Friday's webinar if you guys want to view that. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this is it here. Okay, so I'll put this into the chat as well. But in this webinar here, we talked all about crypto and how it trades differently. I mean, all order flow, the elements in order flow are all the same. There's just different variations of it within the different market types and different players, and therefore different behavior. So the one of the things that we covered in this webinar here quite a bit was talking about trapped volume and how people get trapped and they can feel the pain as it squeezes against them. It happens all the time. In fact, right where we are right now, boy, this looks almost identical to the setup that I took that I'm going to cover in just a minute. This is kind of a topping pattern in here, reversal, and then you see the selling coming in, but buyers are coming right back again here, right? So anyway, this was one of the subjects, and I want to cover that as well in this webinar. Looking for those that are trapped and feeling the pain, okay? Because that's what's going to run these markets. Is you see people having to cover and get their accounts liquidated. And this happens in all markets. That's why we have the stops and icebergs, well, the stops indicator in the futures markets. That's why we have the liquidations here in the crypto markets. So you can see some liquidations right here on the buy side. As this went just above the swing, we see some liquidations. All right, so anyway, that was the subject from Friday, and I want to continue on in this vein here, but we're going to go over a setup that I took, and it was a loss. All right, so let me see here. Let me bring it up, and I want to recap what I did right, what I did wrong, and better understand. Okay, so, and unfortunately, I wanted to as you can see, this is in replay mode. And I wanted to record my orders in here. It will not work. So I don't have a screenshot of the actual positions, which is unfortunate. So I'll have to go through it and just kind of point to the areas. Anyway, the move that I took in here, this was Friday in the afternoon, around between 2 and 3, or Yeah, 2 and 4 p.m. So what I was looking for was a short in here. And I was identifying the trap traders, just like in the webinar. We had noted in here, like we had some buyers, and I see a nice cluster of selling starting to come in here, though. We have some buyers again, okay, and also some buyers previously. Buyers come back in again, and then I see this selling cluster in here. Okay, so this is where I was interested, and this is where I initiated my first position in this. Okay, right here. All right, so and then I started to see again, and I'll have to zoom in here, I think. See, do it here. Yeah. Okay. So, and let me try to get this out of the way a bit. So this was position 1. Okay, and then I saw again, like, well, it went against me a bit here, and then I see more sellers starting to come back in again. Okay, so due to this selling and this trap in here, I am looking for this to go down to the downside. All right, so I see again here some selling, and I got in again. All right, so now I really leveraged this one out. So let's see, I was in 2, I think, contracts here, 2 contracts here, or 2 coins, and then I put on another 2 here. Okay, I saw that it went against me again. It came back down. I saw more selling. This is going to drop, right? I was pretty sure I had it at that point, and I was looking for this to drop, and I was going to hold this, or I did hold this. And let me explain why, and let me get the pen tool out for this. Okay, because I want you guys to learn from my mistakes in here. Okay, so I was not interested in taking a profit down here. I should have. I usually do. Okay, take some off. Look for a pullback. Look for a continuation. All right, so I was pretty sure I had it. This was what I've this is one of the patterns that we cover. In fact, I've got some new content for you that goes exactly over this, and I can't wait to give it to you guys in just a second here. All right, so it started to go in my favor. I did not take some partial off down here. I did not move my stop. I kept it open because we know these markets. They're looking for pain, and they're going to run it hard against people. So I'm looking for maybe down to here, at least this swing, as maybe partial profit. I believe that's where I had my first partial, and then my ultimate target was going to try to let it run, but maybe front running some of the liquidity down here. Okay, that's what I was looking for. I can even see a measured move in here, pretty nice one that I'm looking for. Okay, so this would be my measured move, something like this, right? So this was my setup, all right, and that's that. So okay, so the started to go for me. Didn't take some off. I saw the buying coming in here. I go, great, that's just going to be more pain for these guys that bought here, and I saw the sellers come back in again. I'm thinking, great, this is going to go, and then it started to come back up against me, and this is what I had covered in the webinar on Friday, that these markets they're a beast. They'll come back and do this. So I'm leveraged high in here, 6 contracts. And then I think I dumped it up in here as it started to go against me, because I saw this volume starting to come in, and that's where I exited, somewhere around in here. I wish I'm sorry, guys. I had the orders recorded. I had it in replay mode recorded, but I didn't know this. You could not add your recorded orders if you're in the cross instruments trading. Right, so Oh, I forgot to demo that part. Dan, we won't be able to use that as a recording. So maybe we can use on Friday's webinar as a recording. We connected there, and that went pretty well, except for a crash. Anyway, guys, so I got out. At least I reduced the risk, and I did not have this happen to me. Okay, but what did this market do? And this is what I want to learn from in my trading in here. And there's a host of factors. First off, there's a swing up here. Okay, that's where it went, and then it failed. And then look what it did, exactly what I was looking for, to come back down into this area here after knocking people like me out. When this happens in here, the best thing to do is just exit. All right, now I exited. I should have taken some off down here. Okay, I got greedy. I thought I had it. I was looking for the pain. I was looking for them to just run it against these guys and get these buyers to cover. All right, so anyway, so I had to take a full stop up here, and it hurt. It hurt pretty bad. And then it came all the way back up here, and I'm thinking, well, that was good. I think I managed my risk pretty well there then, I guess, except I didn't take any off. And then it just turns around and does exactly what you thought it was going to do anyway. So how do you handle that? Well, I think the best way is just get out, make sure you take some off, reduce that risk. You can put your stop at break even. I even thought up here of reversing potentially, because if they're now, I know that I'm the one that's going to feel the pain, and this is that pain right in here. Okay, so this is what unfolded for me, and I wanted to cover this trade in detail so maybe you guys can learn from it a bit, and also cover a little bit more on some of my mistakes. Okay, so what were some other mistakes in here? All right, so I've got a couple. All right, so a couple of mistakes in here would be, zoom back out a little bit, and then we'll look at the live market, guys. But I really want to go through this in detail here, because I think it's important. We can learn so much from our trading, and that's what we're here for. All right, so there's a couple of different things in here that I probably misread. I could have looked for more. Remember we talked about on Friday that transition from buyers to sellers. Hey, do I really see that in here? Not really, and here's why. Because we see all the buying. Well, we see some selling in here. We see the buying in here. We see the buying in here, and then the selling in here, right? And that's why I entered. That's where I thought this transition was going to take place, was right here. And I guess maybe even in hindsight, it doesn't look so bad. But there's maybe see a little bit more selling would be good for this to work out. And maybe I needed a little more conviction in here, a little bit more volume to give me that conviction. But anyway, I didn't, and that was maybe something I should hold off on if that's the case. I did think I did identify some of the buyers in here and maybe some of the pain they may start to feel. But then ultimately, as it reversed, it is these sellers that got trapped in here and then got stopped out on the way up here. All right, so a few considerations in and also the trade management. Okay, so the analysis and the trade management, two factors I wanted to go through. All right. Okay, hope that helped. Let's move on, and let me see if there's any comments or questions as well. No, nothing in YouTube. Okay, and then let's jump over to Discord. Okay. You missed the flag slowdown. Okay, yeah. You know, like I said, these are tricky markets in here. But yeah, the thing is, like, no matter how tricky they are, uh, you know, these competitions are great because we can really hone our skills. And uh, yeah, I want to do a lot more of these if we can. So the all right. So what do we see in the at the moment here in this flag pattern in here? All right. So really nice strong move to the upside. And then we see this this pullback in here, and let's just zoom in here a little bit because the pullback is it kind of negates it a little bit, you know, for that setup. We have the high liquidity in here, high liquidity in here. It's you know, it's not the cleanest and clearest. The pullback is pretty. It's more than 50%. But then we do see the volume starting to pick up in here, which is nice. And we can look at these guys as getting the feeling the pain as they in in this case. And in this instance in here on this kind of flag pattern in here, the trade management, it would be a reconsideration, maybe taking some off at the top or just above at this liquidity up in here. That's, you know, your trade management. You can still take it because you know this is the impulse move, right? You know this is kind of strong in here too, but once it, you know, they get upside down in here, you're just looking for maybe to the top of the range and taking some off there, and then look for your continuation. All right, so that would be something to consider for that flag pattern. All right, now guys, what I wanted to go over as well was the hold on a minute, from bookmap.com. Okay, I just uploaded this just this morning. Go to the more button here. Oh, I'm sorry, go to education, go to strategies and setups, and we have a reversal pattern. Okay, I just have one video in here right now. It is the head and shoulders reversal pattern. Okay, and yeah, let me make sure that this is good. Yeah, okay, you should have access to it. Yeah, no problem. All right, so you can go through this. This is the same process that I used for that head and shoulders that I just covered in detail for that loss that I took. It is exactly the same thing. But yeah, take a look at that and you know, let me know what you guys think about it. I think we got a pretty good pattern in there. I mean, identifying the order flow within Bookmap and the schematic pattern there for that video. Okay, it's only 3 minutes long. Right. All right, so let's see what's going on in these markets right now. Here we go again. Do we have enough buyers in here? Yeah, it looks pretty good so far. Okay, and did they get filled down here? Liquidity down in here? Not really. Looks like they kind of pulled some of that. Okay, and look at that exhaustion. Look at that exhaustion in here. All right, so yeah, not looking for going long in here at all. So this is what we have now, is pretty nice impulse move here, and then look at all the selling and look at the buying in here and in here. Okay, exhaustion in this area in here, exhaustion in this area in here. Now we don't know if we get back up here and we do see a lot of buying. Okay, it could look pretty good, but right now it is not doing that. In fact, it made a lower high in here, and in fact, we can look for if we can get a little bit more selling, maybe right around here where we are right now. A bit more selling, we can come back down and revisit this swing low here around 68,950. Okay, here's our reaction to some liquidity in here. Yeah, Rob, you might want to reach out to support. I don't, or um, yeah, I don't know why you don't have access to the journal. You should. It's part, you're part of the beta program for it. I don't know, Dan, if you want to help Rob there. Guys, one of the I also wanted to go over this in here today for this webinar on the competition. We're going to have more events all week long for this competition. One of the important things to do, I feel, is you've got to follow your plan. Competition or no competition does not matter. You take your setup. Okay, so I took my setup in here. Okay, it turned out as a loser, and it hurt in here. However, I would take it again and again and again. I would manage it a little differently, and that's about it. Maybe that volume analysis down in here and not seeing quite the transition I'm looking for would be the other distinction in here. Okay. Other than that, I would do the same thing, right? Just it comes down to the trade management at that time. So that's what to lean on, because otherwise it's chaos. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to make mistakes, and every time you click the button in this competition, you're going to be out commission. Even if you get a break even or even a small win, it's going to be a loser because of the commission. All right. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. Happy to go through anything in here. Alan, does crypto and POC view up? Yeah, sure, it'll work. Yeah, this is another thing I added in. Not so much POC, but like yeah, you can add that in, and you can add in VWAP. You might have access to the anchored VWAP as well. It's on the SVP column, Alan. That's how you can access it. Now, mine might look different than yours because I just opened it for this beginning of this webinar. Okay, and you have anchored VWAP as well, so you can play around with that. If you're in the beta program for that anchored VWAP, then you can also play around with looking for some strategies in that. All right. All right, let's see, what else can I go over in here? Some other things kind of noted from the from Friday's webinar, as well as what I've noted with these markets. Okay, another one is very, very you see this in all markets. This is the impulse move. All of this action has taken place within the impulse move as well. Okay, so look at this in here. See the sellers, like, remember we saw that exhaustion on the way back up here. Okay, well, the sellers are coming in. We're testing the bottom of the range in here. Okay, now the question is, can the sellers break it here? They're going to need to break it on size. Do we see in here in all of these transactions, as well as in the liquidity heat map, do we see the enough sellers? I do not. I do not see a transition taking place yet. I just saw some exhaustion here, and a move to the bottom of the range is justified. Okay, that's about it, though. I mean, you can hold for a runner, but you know, I'm really not seeing it. And it may come back down into, you know, a lower level in here, but then I would look for it to fail, and then see buyers come back in, and then probably shoot for this 69,800 or so. 69,500 or 800. All right. This is what I was going to go over, Alan. I also recommend inserting another column in here for CVP, and then we'll configure that column into delta only. Okay, buy minus sell, so that we have the horizontal on the buy minus sell. Okay, so this will help us identify trap traders. Okay, so look at that cluster of sellers up in here. All right, so now let's ask a question. Okay, we know who's in control, buyers here. Now we have quite a bit of selling in here. Okay, mostly selling. Where would the squeeze be? If we can get back up into some of these areas, basically above 500 here, we'd see a pretty good squeeze if we can get back up here. Okay, up into 900. All right, so let's take a look here. We got a bit of a trend line in here. We can make a smaller one as well. Okay, I do not see the buyers coming in, so it's hands off. Okay, I do see liquidity coming in at 69,000 here. So it's trying to accept above the figure here. Alan, have you joined the competition? Rob as well? We'll give you, this is the focus for the Bookmap Academy meeting on Thursday, as well as some other days here, is all going to be on the competition. And Stephen, yeah, put your. I hope that you have documented some of your trading activity and post it in the Bookmap Academy room. So you can potentially win that $200 tomorrow. Yeah, Alan, just go for it. Just sign up and open a tab. I mean, you can open up here, look, I've got Rhythmic as well as DX feed. It looks like I just canceled DX feed. But you can open up anything else at the same time. It's no big deal, right? So just keep a tab open, and if you want to participate in it, take a shot at it. All right, so let's take a look at this. This could be one of Slowdown's signature setups, guys. This could be your Wyckoff spring right here. All right, let's look for it. Right now, for your Wyckoff spring, look at where this market was trending. We identified this range in here. We're looking for a break of that range. We know that there's sellers in here, but it's still not a whole lot compared to the buyers. This is why we're looking for the squeeze and the move up. Okay, so now here's a break of our range, or a retest to the low, basically here. And then now we're seeing the buyers come in. We're back in the range now. Now we need to see the buyers really pick it up. Okay, if they can pick it up, and especially if they can get back up above this little swing here, around 69,264, that's where we're going to see the squeeze. Okay, everything is looking pretty good. We have high liquidity underneath here. Okay, we have some volume in here on the buy side starting to come in. All right, and so we're looking for this squeeze. All right, here, let me, I'll open it up the trade control panel. I'll add, you need to, here, let me just hide this panel and then open up another. add panel, add cross instruments trading panel, select Bookmap Academy and press start. Okay, and then here we'll even we'll take a position here. There's my pullback. There's my buy. Okay, let me, I could have put brackets on here. Okay, now is that enough buying in here? Maybe not, maybe quite not, but I have the high liquidity. Okay, we're up at this swing. I have identified the sellers here, and so I'm looking for the push through. Okay, there, that high liquidity just transacted here. Okay, and I'll put my limit sell up here. Okay, that's my target. Okay, let's see if we can get this. I may, we'll see. Maybe I'll keep it running here, but I don't want to just focus on this trade here. So I may exit. See, we just got to win above this swing here. And we're just still looking for more buyers though. Okay, I just don't want to focus on the trade idea. I just wanted to show you guys a trade and we'll take it from there. Okay, and our reasoning behind the trade. Now, what did I can look in hindsight already, to be honest. Did I have enough buying in here? Well, I've identified enough selling, that's for sure, in these areas in here. Okay, so that's why I'm looking for the squeeze. But I do not see enough selling to compete with this buying over here. Not yet, right? So I'm still looking for, you know, the buyers to squeeze this here. Okay, now where would I get out? Okay, well, if it comes back down into the bottom of this range, I'm out. And that's it. Like, I'm looking for this to work now. Okay, so it looks like it's not going to work. Okay, I'm going to hold it for a bit here, though. It's still in the range. Now, if I was managing this more aggressively in here, this is where I'd get out, right here at 120 or so, 115, 120. All right, so we'll see if we're right or wrong on this, but that's the idea. This is more of like a kind of flagging type of activity in here, and we've got a lot of sellers in there. We're looking for them to get squeezed on the way back up. Guys, this is not a trade recommendation at all. Okay, so we're just going through an example in here. I want to show some trading functionality. All right, let's see the pain here. Let's see the squeeze. Okay, the buyers are back, and we're just targeting that that high liquidity there. All right, so let's go through a little bit of trade management as well in here. So our pivot line is kind of right around where our entry is. You can see this is where that buying picked up, and this is where those sellers kind of right in here where they kind of dropped it, right? So yeah, we may consider, like, if we see a lot of selling coming in here, then we may consider just dumping it at this point in here, right? For that reason, because we don't want to see sellers below this area right here. Sellers below this area is highly likely then we're gonna see the move down to the bottom of the range and the retest to 69,000 here. Rob, would 400 be a good exit? Yeah, probably. Like, this is another thing, Rob, that these markets are highly sensitive to, is little swings in here. Okay, so I was looking for the bigger swing, and I have my reasons though for it. But if you want to manage and take some off up in here as well on some of these smaller swings, I think it's probably a good idea. But I'm looking for the pain in here, right? I know I got some sellers on the side here. I mean, this is slowdowns, one of slowdowns, you know, kind of break of the range and then failure back into the middle, and then other side. It has not done the other side yet. It's done the other side of maybe these little swings here, or at least this one, but not the other. So here they come, right? So I'm going to dump it, right? I'm going to just say, like, no, this is not what I'm looking for, okay? And I'll reduce my risk there. Now, I reduce some risk. Reduce the risk. However, the I paid commission though on that. Okay, so that's not break even plus. Okay, break even plus would have been up here someplace, to be honest, right? So now you can always get back in though. So if this now becomes the little trap we're looking for, and we see that buying coming in here again, then we'll consider a re-entry. Okay, our idea is pretty much still intact here. Okay, here's some buying. All right, now the buyer's got to get above this selling here. Yeah, looks good. All right, I'm going to place a limit, or I'm sorry, a stop buy stop. Okay, so volume, not so much volume, volume. Okay, so I know there's buyers in here, and I know these sellers can feel the squeeze. Okay, we just need to see the buyers up here. Rob, this is a huge point that you're making. You've been struggling with is risk management and trade management. Absolutely. I mean, this is an art. It's not as much of an art as you think. It's a lot of common sense, and just it's as important, or maybe even more important, than the setup. Okay, because like as I was, that's why I went over in detail the setup and the risk management that I took on that in the beginning of the webinar from that trade on Friday. Okay, so this took me into the trade here. Now, not on a whole lot of volume in here, right? On that buy side, so I don't like that. Yeah, so I don't like this setup in here necessarily because look at your bars, look at your dots in here. This took me into the trade in here. Maybe I shouldn't have let it because now the sellers can come in and pound this and move it away, right? So this might be another one to just cut. If I see a lot of selling coming in, I'm going to cut the trade. You need it should have worked for you. I don't know what you're using, that 1.1.4 Stan trade simulator. Guys, this is not what I'm looking for. So I got to see some buyers come in now, else I'm out of this. See the sellers up here. That's not what I'm looking for, right? Sellers here, that doesn't bother me too much, but if I see sellers up here, this is not good, right? This is not. I need to see buyers' interest up here. Okay, so if I start to see sellers here again, I am out and I'll scratch this or take a small loss here. Yeah, I'm out. And right when the buyers come back in, these markets. But this was my decision, right? And still might unfold here, but I will take the small loss and then wait for when it looks really good. When it looks really good, not only will I get in, I will leverage it. Okay, so I'm fine with that. Taking the small loss, taking the scratch, taking the small loss, taking the small winner, etc. Okay, and then when I see the good one, I'll leverage it. And right now, see, we're still not finding. Now we may get it. Buyers, this may come in hand over fist now, but I just don't see it. That Axia futures, and here's the methodology. All right, so you guys, I'll put this into the chat too. If you haven't seen it, you might want to watch this. We did a webinar with Axia futures, and this is it's great stuff. Because like for example, they're talking about in here, they're traders. And they will take their small losses and small scratches all day long, and then when they see their big opportunity, they leverage it. Okay, so this looks pretty good. Let's try it one more time here. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now I'm looking for more than that. That's enough volume for looking for maybe up to here now. Okay, let's put on 2. There we go. Okay. and my limit didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna flatten it, guys. I know there's some issues there. It went right through my limit. So I'll talk to the developers about that. Okay, so anyway, that's what we see how, like, you kind of you get kind of a feel for it in here. And I'm looking for something to unfold. And where's my trade management here? All right, let me clear the drawings and then let's go through this again. Okay, so this was my original position here. I looked, we can go through the setup. Okay, one, who's in control in the impulse move? Buyers. Okay, we are trending up in this time frame. Okay, next, we see a lot of selling coming in here, and we see the break of this range in here too. So these guys are on the hook. That's what we're identifying, the sellers on the hook here. Right now, we're looking for buyers to start to come in back up above after the break of the range. I hope, I don't know if Slowdown, if he's, this is one of his setups that he would document, but that break of the range in here, maybe it's enough for his setup. But anyway, you can see that small break in here, and then we know the trap is on, and then we see this pullback in here. We get the move back up to this range in here. We exited at break even. We took another shot here, and we saw sellers here, so I exited on a small loss. And then we saw the buyers we were looking for. I got in 2 contracts here and then took it up to here and took them off. Right now, you could still be in this and look for this to continue, but we're up at 70 grand now. No, we're not. Almost. I'm looking for the test into 70 grand. Right. So now I made up for my losses and took my gainer here. Okay. And there really was no reason to exit this. Okay, not yet. Okay, one, yes. One of them take off. On the other, let it ride. Okay. Anyway, guys, what I wanted to cover in here was from this Axia Futures webinar, was their top traders. It's in here somewhere.
See a market move lower and then move up.
Hold
on.
on.
What's the current range? Just like the Bund.
Okay. They have their statistics. And they're talking about, yeah, we cover Market Pulse in here if you want to also view that. But like, here, I've got it in here. But it is just, this is enlightening. You know, this is how these high-performing traders are working. They're talking about consistency and scalping and how important scalping is to your trading. You get good at scalping. Rob, this is for you. You get good at scalping, you can easily make the transition, or more easily make the transition into a news trader or a swing trader, etc. Okay. They go over the consistencies of swing traders versus news traders versus scalpers. Okay, the scalpers are the most consistent. And they also talk about, yeah, this kind of earn $500 per day type of thing. Is it possible, etc. I'll put the link into the chat for you, but I would, recommend watching this and encourage you to check it out here, because they talk about the equity curve in here. I think maybe this is it here. I don't know. Anyway, I think the consistency of the of these traders, they're hitting, I don't know, 1 out of 3 at least as a winner. Maybe it's a bit better, but not much. Like a 33-37% win rate. So what does that mean? Small losses, big winner, leverage in, take your money. Okay, maybe it's not for everybody, but you know, you've got leverage in some of these markets, and you can use that to your edge. Yeah, the oh, you did take something similar, slow down. Great. Win some, lose some. Yeah, exactly. But you're so consistent, slow down. Also, Jack, you're so consistent. I mean, Jack, I know you've been trading for years. And this consistency and sticking with your plan. Guys, the market will do whatever it wants. However, um, you're looking for it to do something specific. If it doesn't do that thing, then just stay out. Just wait until it plays your game. Yeah, so that anyway, guys, I really encourage you watch that Axia futures again, if you haven't already. Here, I'll put it into the chat as well. Go. Rob, let's see. Getting back to your question on Stephen, you're working on it. Like, your consistency. Just keep going. And you finally have gotten something you can relate to. Just get better and better at it. Start with one simple strategy and get good at it. And then you'll get better at others, better at that strategy, and then you can add in another strategy. Okay, now in hindsight, looks like we made a good decision in here to exit fully here. I don't know yet. Like, yeah, it was great so far. Traded up into high liquidity here, and we were front running it, and then went through it, and we're like, okay, wait a minute, like, I'm just going to exit. Now, you can see that this is the new zone in here to mark up. Okay. So, and I just want to mention a few things. I'm kind of all over the place today, but there's so much to talk about, and there's so much to mention. Like, this pattern in here is not really slowdown's pattern, to be honest. I know you mentioned that slowdown, but why? Well, because this is more flagging type of pattern in here. It's not range bound back and forth necessarily. Okay, this is we've seen this pattern a lot recently. Like, you see this really strong move, and then like it just keeps maybe bouncing back down. But we're looking at it, and we look at it and we say, well, we haven't seen the transition from the buyers to the sellers yet. And if we haven't seen that transition, then like we're still looking for it to go long. Now that might pull back all the way to some of these lower levels in here. And it still might not look like sellers have control yet. So you can still look for those buyers to re-enter and re-engage. Okay, so now let's take a look at see what's going on in here. Like, all the buyers that bought here are feeling the pain now. Okay, so maybe this is a better way to consider some of these markets here with crypto, because we get that strong impulse move like this, and then look at this, you're starting to feel the pain now. Okay, so it's right back to your point of entry in here. And so you got to shake those guys out. These guys, these sellers will come in here and press it back down to some of these lower levels here. We might come back all the way back down to 69,000. There's your, I know you guys love your VWAP migration. Well, I just had it happen. I don't know if you did, since I started a little bit late. And I don't know if there's algos trading off of that, that and making decisions off of that right now. But we have high liquidity in here. We have it's a high volume node. The VWAP at least, or I'm sorry, the point of control. And then, did I say VWAP migration? I mean point of control migration. And then let's just see. We'd be looking for buyers off of this area then, right? And it makes sense. There is this is where those buyers came in. This is just a break below it. Now we're looking for those buyers in here, and let's see if we can get back up into these levels where we were previously, around 69,800 or so. I don't see it yet, but we're looking for something like that. Rob, just stick with the simplest of plans. That's why we went over that flag pattern, is because the momentum pattern is the easiest. Or, momentum trading. You're looking for that momentum and you're going with it. Okay, you start to get into these reversal patterns, and it can be tricky. And your trade management becomes tricky as well. Okay, here, watch this video here. Okay, this is the new reversal pattern. There you go. All right, we seen anything right now? Not really. Not really. Looking pretty slow. So Rob, I don't know if that, do you have any questions on that trade management? We can go through the process again for like some of these momentum moves, understanding that, and then trading that. The flag pattern we went through in a little more detail in the video, and in the setup. There's multiple steps in there, and I want to come up with another setup aimed directly at you, Rob, and others, like a really simple setup. Okay, and that would be momentum, I think. Yeah, see, look at these markets. I mean, like now, you're trying to hold for a bigger move in here, and now you're feeling the pain, and you may even be at a loss now. This was the error that I made on Friday. Now getting a little too greedy, and I knew it. Anyway, let's identify these buyers that might be feeling the pain. Where are they going to get out, and where can buyers still be in control in this move? Here and here, and obviously in here. Okay. So yeah, maybe a stop run down into here, or move back down to that previous level and the figure here at 69,000. Maybe a stop run below that and a move back up, and then a move higher for the rest of the day. Or maybe this is turning into that shift in transition into a head and shoulders pattern. Okay? There's plenty of selling starting to come in now, right? So we haven't seen the transition yet, but we're looking for it. Okay, so buyers, some sellers, but you know, continuation pattern. Some selling that we identified, the buying that we rode back up here, and look at the selling now starting to pick up and below these areas. So actually looks pretty good to me that we are going to test this 69. Okay, you can even scalp that. Now this is the problem with this you know, competition, is you can scalp that down to here, but are you going to make enough? And you got to be right. Okay, so I would not recommend it because this is what it is, $200 that you're, if you get in right here and you're trying to scalp it down to 69, you know, you're going to pay $100 in commission for each coin, more or less. Is it worth it to make $100 out of that? I don't know. It has to look pretty dang good to make that decision. So I would avoid it. But if we didn't have commissions, then yeah, or maybe the commissions were lower, like in the ES or, you know, the NQ, you can get away with that. I think the commissions are low enough. You can take some points out of it, and you know, it's justifiable. Okay, but not with this crypto market, I'm finding. All right, so the risk reward is not worth it. Okay, but that's the scenario we're looking for at the moment. Any questions on the trade functionality in here? Here, let's actually, I'll go through some other examples in here. You can use your bracketed, you can use your OCO orders as well. Trailing stops. If you have any questions on some of this, happy to answer it for you guys now. Like I said, we'll have more special events this week that'll be on answering any of your questions in here. Could those sellers not be the buyers covering? Yeah, they could be. We just find that you know, identifying the different players in here is very helpful. Like a lot of times, this is just a big stop run, and it's a lot of people that were selling in here, and they felt the pain here, right? So this selling in here, like if we can get back up above here with buyers, like I'm speculating on that. I don't know, but we do see this behavior though, Carl, in all markets. They're the ones that are compelled to buy or sell because they're feeling the pain. I hope that answers your question. I mean, it's a combination of players in here. It's not all one or the other. It's not black or white like that. And I cringe if I'm covering it that way. I'm sorry. I don't want to cover it that way. I mean, there's all sorts of players. But anyone short term, and these short term gyrations in here, there's a lot of stop runs. There's a lot of people that are are kind of forced to exit their position and cough it up. Like this is a nice little area right up here. Look up here. Okay, see where that selling came in? And what if we can get some buying up above that? Right, and let's take a look here. So for example, even here, you know, so look at that selling in here. Like, you know, we're the trade idea is to look for these sellers in here to have to feel the pain and get squeezed. So we're looking for that squeeze right around this area in here. And I don't think we're seeing enough here to justify that. I just don't see it. I'm trying to be objective about it, and that's the best we can do. The more objective we are, the more common sense and rationale we are using, and you know, understanding the participants and the behavior in here. Okay. Why are we going to enter? We have to have criteria to enter. We have to have our reasons, and we're going through all of this behind us to understand what might unfold in the future here. Yeah, and see how we stayed away from this little move in here, just not worth it. You know, if we sold in here looking for that move, we're around, what was it, 220 or so, right? Yeah, somewhere around in here, just to get it down to the figure here, right? Well, this can be maddening. It just wasn't worth it. So just stay away. All right, let's see if we can get a bit more buying in here. This is nice. It's a nice setup. I just don't think there's enough activity or action in here to justify it quite yet. It'll probably get another rotation. But to see a big green dot up in here could be get a lot of these sellers in here to cough it up and see a move back up into 70,000 here. And this is where correlations can be really helpful, because is this enough? Has it gyrated back and forth enough for this squeeze to unfold? And I don't know. It's starting to do it, but I'm going to hold off on it. It's just, you know, I'm kind of looking for another rotation or so. This is just not enough to entice me. Okay, because now watch it rotate again and come back down here and then come back up here and then break out, right? We want it to be clear, and if we miss it, we miss it. Now that this is the idea we're looking for, we just don't see enough criteria to justify it. Okay, over here we had enough criteria. I know that one worked out. It might not have. It might not have at all. Okay, but we had our criteria in here, and enough criteria in here that we even added into it, okay, and leveraged it a bit. Right, makes sense? Because look at that buying here. We're looking for that buying in some of these other areas in here, and it was doing what we wanted. This was not really justified. The buy stop took me out. or took me into the trade. And I don't know if that was quite justified. We talked about that. And it pulled back quite a bit. And that's where we got out, right? Because we saw that selling starting to come back in. And was it the right decision? I think so. But I'm not going to, have these sellers come in and move it back down into these lower levels here just to hold it. This was not quite enough, and we got carried into it. So maybe I'll exit and I'll enter if we can always get back in, and we did. And here we had enough criteria. Here we had justification. Now it worked out. It might not have. Then we would have cut the trade. We just look for the next one. All right, let's see. Did we get our breakout here or not? All right, now see how like we're still kind of gyrating here. Carl, does that answer your question? I'm hoping I went through it in detail for you. And let me see over in Discord. Yeah, you can add the correlation tracker on here. Alan, you can use any of the tools that you want for this competition. All right, so let's just go up here and correlation tracker. I just added it recently. Let's add the ES. Alan, one of the things here, if you note that it's positively correlated with the NQ, yeah, I agree, and it probably is. In fact, let's remove the and we're going to add the. I don't have the NQ up. Right. Now we're going to add it. All right, and there'd be this blue line. Alan, the thing that I would recommend is if this is something that you have back tested a bunch of times, you've looked in, all you have to do is look in replay mode to get a feel for it. Is it correlating right now correctly with it? Then you've got something there. But make sure you're playing your game here, not the market's game. Okay, so don't add things and just start to hope and pray in here. Okay, you're looking for something very specific. Okay, is it positively correlated in here, and you start to see maybe the NASDAQ move maybe before crypto, then great. Or if this setup in NASDAQ here, let's just open the NASDAQ. Let's take a quick look at it. It's the ES. Okay. Yeah, see, this isn't looking too compelling to me right now. This little move and breakout here. I like the volume up here, but look at the swing. It's kind of an equal swing. Okay. Now, if we get a retest back up here, and I see that order book supporting it, and get a retest back up in here, and start to see a lot of volume in the NQ. Yeah, looks pretty good for your swings up above and high liquidity up above. Okay, then you can apply that here to your crypto. I would just be careful that don't just add things to your chart. Trying to squeeze a trade out of something or get something, add something and hoping that it will work. Okay, you've studied it, it works, it's what you trade, and then you're applying that to this market. okay, because you need an edge. Okay, so now we're coming back up here in crypto. Okay, do we have the order book supporting us? No, not really. Okay, what about NASDAQ? Is it supporting this idea? No, not really. I don't see a whole bunch of buy volume. We might get it, but I don't see it yet, right? I see, selling up here or very little buying, right? So I'm gonna stay away. In fact, this might be a real nice short now in NASDAQ, looking for these lower levels here. Again, not a trade recommendation, but we had our retest, no buying, looking for sellers. There you go. You could take some off right there. Okay, still looking for it to go lower though, because we're just not seeing the buying coming in. Okay, how's crypto? Well, crypto is following suit there. Okay, so we can get a move back down to this swing here, which happens to be the POC on my chart. And there you go. Where do you see your commissions? Let me show you. Oh, I don't know if it's actually it is 0.01%, I think, or 0.1%. Okay, all I know is I right around in these levels in here, it's about $50 on each side, or maybe $60 now on each side. I don't know, something like that. I mean, each position, like if I trade one coin, then that will be to enter it'd be 50 or a little bit more, and then to exit would be like 50. Okay, I thought it might be in the FAQs, Alan, on that competition page. All right, so if you guys want to enter, I would recommend it. Give it a shot, play around with it. You might win. And here you go. Here's the link. And let me put it into YouTube as well. There you go. See, like this move here as well. Like here you got your exhaustion up here. I mean, I wouldn't have sold it, but you have your exhaustion in here. You would look for maybe sellers to the bottom of the range here, and maybe they can break it. But at least just down to the bottom of this little range in here is all you're looking for, and that's not enough in here. You wouldn't make enough. You'd be risking too much to make very, very little. So you look for a better setup. Look for your correlations, Alan. I think that'll help you. Sounds like you got something there that works for you. All right, guys. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. I'll inform you of other events upcoming. One of them is we're going to announce a winner tomorrow for the content, best content. Okay, so there's going to be two winners, one tomorrow and then one on April, what was it, April 1st, I believe, okay, from the prizes here. Where are prizes? Hold on. Yeah, here. April 2nd. Sorry about that. So, yep, the 26th tomorrow, and then on the 2nd. Okay, 200 USDT is the winner. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. We'll continue on with this competition. Post into the Bookmap chat room here, Bookmap Academy here. Okay, and Yeah, I can see Slowdown has some great stuff in here. Guys, this is who you're competing with. So some really nice content in here. Beauty. That's beautiful stuff. Anyway, take your best shot at it, Stephen. I hope you can get in there, get some content in there. Be great, since you're doing really well, and I think it's just fantastic to see. I love it. Yep. We'll look forward to your content. Thanks for coming, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.